of us play a role. Your sisters helping sew the garments, preparing the food so we can eat, raising old children in the fear of the Lord. There's a difference of administration, but the same Lord. Read on.
And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all.
If we understood that, and if we understood that each of us are moved by the Lord, we would be careful how we speak to each other. We would be careful not to offend. And if we did, we would be quick to fix it. We would want to try to make friends. Watch this. Verse 7.
1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 7. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal.
You understand what that said? But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man. Like I said before, every one of you was called of your Father. The manifestation of the Spirit was given to you from God, not man. It says what? To profit withal. Read on.
For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit.
Right, the same Spirit gives one man wisdom. Another man has knowledge. One man can have wisdom and understand deep things in his Bible. Another have knowledge and understand how to work things. But you put them both together, what he's going to do? He's going to share his talent, and you're going to share my talent. I'm going to get some of your knowledge, you get some of my wisdom, and then we're going to work together. Iron sharpens iron. I know many precepts I don't want to go through now, but we work together. So when you see a brother or sister, you automatically think, God has given them something. What is it? They got to find it for themselves. What is it that I can learn from this person? Yeah.
That sounds a lot like, that verse right there sounds a lot like Moses and Aaron.
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah. Even Miriam, she was part of it. She doesn't know when to keep quiet, but she was part of it. The Lord was dealing with her too. Read on.
Verse 9. To another, faith by the same Spirit.
You understand? Some of us have wisdom, knowledge, but some men faith are weak. And there's a brother who's going to exhort that faith in you to strengthen you. Read on.
To another, the gifts of healing by the same Spirit.
Read.
To another, the working of miracles. To another, prophecy. To another, discerning of spirits.
That's what I wanted right now. To some people have the discerning of spirits. Can't you sometimes talk to people that you know, especially if you brothers in here, and you see each other, you can tell when a brother's trouble. If you're around a brother long enough, I eat with brothers at my house, we spend it. I can tell when something's wrong with you. Brother, you ain't right. What's happening? What's wrong? You can tell, it's written on your face. You can't hide it. Discerning of spirits. Now, don't confuse discerning with evil surmising. Because evil surmising is when you begin to think evil of a person. And in thinking evil now, your actions portray how you deal with them. But if I see you, my first thought of you ain't going to be, you're doing something wrong, something's wrong with you. That's not my first thought. It shouldn't be my first thought, I should say. Unless, but I tell you right now, if I smell smoke, and I'm touching the doorknob and it's hot, I know there's fire on the side of the door. I'm not stupid. If you withdraw yourself, you remove yourself, you quiet, or nothing, you don't deal, I'm like, okay, you got the devil on you. You can tell. The discerning of spirits. That's a gift from God. Watch this. I want to jump on down because I want to get back to what I was talking about. Verse 20. 1
Corinthians chapter 12, verse 20. But now are they members, yet but one body. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee. Nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you.
Right. The eye, the hand, the feet, the body parts that is used as an analogy, they can't disregard one of the other. Each one of us play a part. Read on.
Verse 22. Nay, much more, those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary.
Those members of the body that seem to be more feeble are more necessary, which we think to be less honorable. Remember I tell you what, the problem is when you think or you feel or whatever, you don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know who that man is or who that woman is that you might think is less feeble. You don't know what they have to offer for your growth. What you think are less feeble, it says, upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and over uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. That's the Lord speaking. Yes, sir.
Real quick, let's go to Proverbs, the 25th chapter. Think of the body, how the body operates. Proverbs chapter 25, I want to read verse 19.
I got it. Proverbs, the 25th chapter, the 19th verse.
Come on.
Confidence in an unfaithful man in a time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint.
It says confidence in an unfaithful man in a time of trouble. What is confidence talking about? Trust. What else? Focus. All these things, I want y'all to think about the body, right? All these things that we have. But when it comes time to use these things, if you don't apply it when it's needed, what's going to happen? It's unuseful. It says confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Can you run away if your foot's out of joint? Can you chew things up if your tooth is broken? What need is it? You can't use it. What we have to understand is we need all these parts of the body. And we need these parts of the body to be strong, trustworthy, dependable. And in the time of trouble, we'll be able to use them and lean on one another, depend on one another, help one another. So
I like that. It's good. Drop Romans, because it's taking away from where I want to go to.
Yes, sir.
We're not going to have a lack of faith too?
Speak a little louder.
We're not going to have a lack of faith.
Meaning what?
Like you were saying, if you don't use it at that time of when you need
right.
it goes into the same thing, right?
That, all our faiths are going to be tried. And we're going to see who we are in that. And sometimes honestly, it's very important for each of us to go to Proverbs 4, for us to be honest with ourselves of who we are. That's the first step of fixing anything. Because if you can't see that you might lack something, all of us lack something. Who came in here perfect? Ain't not one of us. We all came here sick. What's this?
I got it. Psalm chapter 4, verse 4. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed.
That's saying that what it's trying to tell you is examine yourself. 2 Corinthians 13. It says, commune with your own heart upon your bed. Meaning what? Look at yourself. Be honest with your shortcomings to fix that thing. What you do in your individual lives indirectly affects this body, and vice versa. What is your thing? You got a problem with correction? You got a problem with forgiveness? Be honest with yourself and then work on that. So when you come before the body, you bring forth the best parts of you. And sometimes we need help. We need help. How do we get past this? Don't be ashamed when it concerneth your soul. Let's go back. Okay, so the whole thing I was going back to was the vision and the movement on how we move as a body. How do we grow? What I would love to know is that whatever the Lord's will is that this machine of this congregation continues moving. That is not held up by 1, 2, 5 brothers, 10 brothers. That all you men are being trained that when it's time for you to lead, you can take over and keep this machine moving. That's the only way we get out of here. I mean, yeah, the elders always talk about being Professional students, you're not here to be professional students. Keep on hearing me say the same things over and over again. Give me the precepts. You got to get them before me. It's to come in, learn, grow, and then go and build, so we can get out this damn rat trap. Jeremiah, I hate this place. Jeremiah 29.
Okay, you got a question?
Yeah.
I want to bring out a scripture about what you just said in your pocket.
Where we go to?
It's Ecclesiastes or Sirach 24, 32 down to 34.
24?
24.
32. You got it, Abiel?
Yes, sir. 24, 32.
Sir.
Ecclesiastes chapter 24, verse 32. I will make doctrine to shine as the morning, and will send forth her light afar off. I will yet pour out doctrine as prophecy, and leave it to all ages forever. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom.
So that's just going into what you said. As we go forward, you guys are not going to be here. Everybody that's in here, when we learn from the elders, that's for you to not just be a professional student, it's for you to actually progress this truth to the next level, continue growing. And the wisdom that comes unto these men, they leave it for us. And it's for us to teach and leave it to the kids to sit in here forever, continue to grow. We can't just be sitting in a building like this forever. We got, like Elder opened up, schools, our own restaurants, everything.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something, brothers. We don't know how much longer we have here, but whatever time you're going to see this truth grow, you're going to see understanding grow. And I know that if the Lord spared my life, there's things I'm going to be retaught. I'm going to get more understanding. It keeps on growing. It doesn't end right here. That's what I said. You men coming up, Lord knows, these children, where you guys are going to take them? Where's the Most High going to move you all to take them? Honestly, we're still very small as a nation of people. Where do you, I can only imagine, think about the men that were before me. What they were doing. They were in New York, LA, Chicago. They wasn't even in Detroit. I'm talking about street teaching Israelites, not those Christian, don't hit the street. It wasn't very many. Look where we at from then to now. That trust me, it ain't that long. When you look at the span of this movement, where's the Most High going to move your spirits to do what? What mighty works is going to come from you? I was looking at young brother Jan and Liam and them. I'd be amazed with them dudes. I'm like, damn. Dudes, I wish I was in Rome, the Vatican teaching. Why couldn't I do that? I come with that gift. I would have loved to do that. This boy was what, 16 years old doing something like that? Where are you brothers gonna take it? That's how you gotta think. You all gonna do, if you stay faithful to this, you all gonna do mighty works. Mighty. I'll sit right there and I'll just take notes so I can't see. Somebody take notes from me. I'll record it, MP3, and listen to it. Okay, what was I doing? Jeremiah 29.
The book of Jeremiah, the 29th chapter, and the 4th verse. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses, and dwell in them, and plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them.
So this was Jeremiah the prophet, and the Lord was using him to send a letter to Babylon, because at this point, no, he wasn't there, right? No, yeah, he wasn't there. Jeremiah sent a letter to Babylon to let them know to build houses. You have some Israelites that tell you that you can't make this your home. Negro, it is your home right now. You talking about make it your home. You're here. Is you going to be here and not, what? Not survive, live? You do talking about, don't worry about children.
Right.
Don't worry about your children. Let me tell you something. Even in the world I wasn't that stupid. You could have run game on me like that. To hell with your wife. To hell with children. Are you crazy? Sometimes I'll be amazed when people listen to that. I tell you, people was in cults. They crazy as hell. Man, retarded. So anyway, the Lord was telling the prophet Jeremiah to tell the people to what? Build houses. So while we're here, how do you build houses? You need money. Money is defense. You need jobs. You need careers.
Education.
You need education. I tell you, men work with little pea brains, low aspirations. You think this truth is nothing more than standing in front of a camera screaming at it and then sitting on some dirty couch with a bunch of people? Listen, I can't imagine sitting down. I love you, brothers, and we go out to camp, we can come back and we could drink, but then I'm going to my wife. I'm not going to be sitting on the couch with you all night. Okay, the drink is done. So what do we do? We read all the scriptures. What do we do from here? You tell me, F my wife, I'm looking at you like you crazy. What are you kidding me? Okay, it's 3:30. Don't go home. Why? Stay. Stay for what? They said, no, you click back, you need Luke to be on. Nah, dude, I'm going home. You bugging. Stay for what? I'm trying to think, what do we do? Okay, we finished the drink. The drink is done. Liquor store's closed. We can't get no more. Chicken finished. We went through the scriptures. I can't read. I'm yawning. Just camp on the couch. Stupid. Nah, you bugging now. You bugging. Verse 5.
Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 5. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them.
This is where we were in Babylon. This is the Lord telling Jeremiah to tell the people, prepare yourself, you're here. Make a way for yourself. Read on.
Take ye wives and beget sons and daughters.
The Lord, listen, your father that's called you told you to take a wife. They say to hell with a wife. The author and finisher of your faith told you to take a wife. So who the hell would you listen to tell you to hell with your wife? You in captivity. Make a way for yourself. Take a wife.
And beget sons and daughters. And take wives for your sons and give your daughters to husbands.
Okay, so that means take a wife, have children, but don't take care of them. Beget, it says, beget sons and daughters, take ye wives for your sons, give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased and shall not diminish.
There.
That's what we do here. That's why it's important that we come together. Important that I get to know everybody, you know me as best as we can. Because all sons and daughters are going to marry. I need to know who you are. I need to know what kind of quality of man you are, so I know you're going to instill that in your son. And or you women being mothers of your daughters. Verse 7, seek ye... Listen, oh God, these people are crazy. Verse 7, read verse 7.
Verse 7. And seek the peace of the city whither I have caused you to be carried away captive.
Did you understand what it just said, seek the peace of the city? You know what that means? That even here, we seek peace in the city, meaning what? That we can live a quiet and peaceable life. That don't mean that you're a coon. That means that we can fly under the radar until God delivers us. So how do we do that? Yeah, brother.
If we rode like Black Panthers,
come on. We would implode anyway. Right now, and I'm glad you made that point, because every movement that has tried to buck up against the system has fallen. There's only one movement that will not fall, that will be our movement, the Israelite movement. Those that are on deliverance through the commandments and patience. If you think, I've seen some Israelites out there, you know, I saw a guy's name, now he's a Christian Israelite. Shotguns and videos or whatever. You think you're a fighter? Are you crazy? This is all gun. This is all weapon of warfare that we deal with. Seek the peace of the city city that you're in. We don't get out here no other way other than repenting and keeping the commandments and the faith in Christ. So it said, seek the peace. Read that for me a bit.
Verse 7, and seek the peace of the city where I have caused you to be carried away captives, and pray unto the Lord for it. For in the peace thereof shall ye have peace.
Right. So the Lord said, we're going to have peace in those cities. You seek the peace. So it tells us, I don't want to go through it, but pray for them that are in authority. Anybody that can afford us the opportunity that we can keep God's laws unimpeded, that we can get the Sabbaths, that we're not ostracized, we have the freedom of speech to do God's work. Seek the peace of that city. You know why? Because when there's peace, we can do the work. Raise up spirits. People wake up. 1 second. Raise up spirit. People can wake up. I don't understand. You understand what Jeremiah said this? He wrote this to them, and the people got it, the godly men, and understood the vision. We're going to be here from it. This is what we have to do. When you got those vagabond renegade with no focus of a long-term plan, that's why from generation to generation they can't get off of welfare, they can't do nothing, they don't have no aspiration, they're not pushing their children to do better, they're just sitting there on their backside doing nothing, and then got all the complaints about the nations or Esau and other nations. We possess the keys to the kingdom of heaven. They're not smarter than us. We can manipulate them. But we gotta have, the scripture tells us, wisdom reigns without skill. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I was gonna ask, in Luke 16, 9, when Christ says, make friends with the mammon of unrighteousness, that goes into that piece of the city.
Absolutely. That was when we came out of Egypt. He told us, go get the jewelry and the clothes from the Egyptian. Do you understand that? You went and asked them for it. For them to give it to you, they had to know you. You had to deal with them. You think Joseph raised up in Egypt and was like, "The hell with you stinky Hamite"? No, wisdom reigneth without skill. He knew who he was. He knew who the devil was, who his oppressor was, but he knew how to deal with them. So if you go to your job walking around with a chip on your shoulder all day, no, the reason why you're there working right there. Where's that again? Give me a second. I just gotta, give me a second to think. Give me a second to think. Yeah. Say it again. No, that's not the one. There's one. Here we go. I'll get to you right now. Give me a second. Here we go. Deuteronomy 30. 30 verse 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee.
So do you understand what he's saying here? He says, and it shall come. The Lord is already telling us that listen, y'all go into captivity because y'all don't listen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Y'all going to go. He says, and it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curses which I've set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among the nations whither the Lord thy God has driven thee. So put yourself right now. This is the land in which the Lord our God has driven us. And you're sitting on your job right now, stressed out, and you call all the curses to mind. You're like, damn, I'm living in curses. I was talking to Brother Joe just now, earlier. I'm like, boy, you know you Israel because you live in the curses. You got that right. You call those curses to mind, and you call the blessings to mind. What will happen when you call the blessings to mind? In other words, you're going to think about the blessings. What will happen? Anybody, brothers? Here you are, you at work. You're like, name some of the blessings. Name some of the blessings.
Be some type of joy.
No. Name some of the blessings.
Rulership.
That's what I want. Rulership. That's what. Maybe give me one. Say again. No, ain't a blessing. I mean, it's a blessing, yes, but not that sense.
Nations being afraid.
Nations being afraid of you. So you, in your captivity, you call to mind all the blessings that were supposed to be upon you. You're supposed to be ruling. Nations afraid of you. Honor, glory, respect. And you at work right now. What would that do to your spirit?
Oh, thank you, man.
Okay, but you said it.
Make you mad.
It'll make you mad. Surely oppression makes a wise man mad. You know what you're going to do? You're going to say, damn it, I'm going to keep these commandments. I'm getting up out of this joint. Listen, let's study tonight. You want some, let me give you some precepts. Let's go past our flesh. Let's get up out of here. You'll be pissed off because you know right now, that dude that's telling you to go lift that box is really your slave. And you screwed up and let that dude rule over you because you didn't love the Lord enough. You're going to be mad enough to make a change. And the change is repentance. You're going to call those blessings to mind and remember, damn, you screwed up. Hell, am I here? What did he say to me? So I'll be looking at it, who do you think you're talking to? You pick the box up. for right now, it's going to come a day. And in that day and that time, let's go back. Jeremiah 29. What verse do we leave off?
Verse 8.
Read verse 8. Let's see. Read verse 8.
Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, of the God of Israel, let not your prophets or your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you.
Who's trying to deceive you? To hell with your wife. Don't get married. Family matters. Don't do that. To hell with going to school and get education. We're going to be out of here. These are last days. It's been the last days for 2,000 years. No, you forget the truth. You have your own dreams that lead you away from God. We're only buying time here. That's all we're doing, buying time. So let's make this as smooth as possible. In the meanwhile, what are we doing? We're gathering together, coming together, learning. How do we make a change? Don't let petty foolishness rip this apart. Don't let that selfish, self-centered spirit rip this apart. Watch this, verse 9. I'm sorry, you have something you want to say? Verse 9.
Verse 9.
No, stop it. No, go ahead, read it.
Verse 9. For they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith the Lord.
He said, the Lord said, I have not sent them. Damn, I'm telling you, this is actually written for you to do. Tell you, don't do it. Watch this. Go from that to Ezekiel 13. Remember, those that had visions, they had long-term plans. God showed them what to do for the long term. It was beyond tomorrow, next week. Set things in place that when I'm out of here, the next man is going to take on and keep it moving, keep the machine moving. Those are the subtle things in God's laws and God's word that we're learning that we have to become. I myself am learning it right now. How to become better at this. How to become better at conveying the message. 13, Ezekiel 13 verse 1.
Ezekiel chapter 13 verse 1. Ezekiel the 13th chapter and the first verse. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, Hear ye the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirits and have seen nothing.
Yeah, they follow their own spirits. You know what? And they have seen nothing. That's why I said before, we read it, we didn't read it. 1 Corinthians 13, it is about charity, seeketh not her own. You might see something in the scriptures that could be absolutely right. But if you're a charitable person, you will not blurt it out. You will go to the elders and deacons and tell them what you see and let them reason in the scriptures. Now, I'm not talking about laws, because laws is what it is, straight commandment. Thou shalt not commit adultery. There's no way other way to break it down. But that's another man's wife. Don't touch her. There's no spiritually dead. Don't fall for that crap. But when you might think you see something, the charitable thing to do is be patient, because you might cause a problem amongst the brethren where people are now confused. A man that seeks his own and never look to say that what I'm about to do, how can this end up grieving the Spirit? Can it grieve the Spirit? Or do I want to be the one to say, see, I know, God is dealing with me. God is dealing with all of us. That's what we're here for. It says, read the last verse again. What verse you at?
Verse 3. Thus saith the Lord God, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirits and have seen nothing.
And have seen nothing. Read on.
O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the deserts. Ye have not gone unto the gaps, neither made up the hedge for the house of Israel, to stand in the battle in the day of the Lord.
Right, they weren't guards for the house of Israel. That man that followed his own spirit, his own mind, is dismissing what the word says and have not become a guard to the people to warn them. Our job is to warn you, don't sin, keep the commandments. If you sin, repent, get over, let's move on. That's our job. These men have not filled the gaps, the breaches. How you fill it in is right with this. Read on.
Verse 6. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Lord said, and the Lord hath not sent them.
I'll tell you something, brothers and sisters. The scary thing, and it's truth to me, is when you believe your own BS. And all the brothers around you telling you wrong, and you're like, no, that's what I see. That stuff is scary. Now, I don't know if you ever dealt with people like that, but you talking to you like, listen, the scripture says this. Last week, they was breaking bread. And y'all was in camp. And the next week, you're like, hey, nah, it don't mean that. Nah, brother. Hold on. Hey, brothers, let's show him. And all of a sudden, he's against all the brothers. And what the hell we got it? Let me tell you something. When you don't believe in yours, if you understand the scripture says, the heart is desperately wicked. If all you brothers collectively say, hey, nah. Would not, even if I thought what I was thinking is right, my first response would be, these are all godly men. What scriptures he break? I don't know. He break the scripture. I don't know. All right, maybe I'm bugging. Let me fall back in line and shut up. Then go, you all off. Telling you don't know. Even if I was right, Chad don't see. You don't run in that spirit. You find out a lot of young novices, they got that spirit where they, all of a sudden, the dove descended upon them, after 32 weeks, and then you're talking, how does it be given out? All right, click. See what I see you. Read that verse again, verse 6.
Verse 6. They have seen vanity and lying divination, saying, the Lord said, and the Lord hath not sent them. And they have made others to hope that they will confirm the word.
I'll tell you something. I see that right now with this stuff about don't take care of your wives. And people be listening to that stuff. Read on.
Verse 7. Have ye not seen a vain vision, and have not spoken a lying divination? Whereas ye say, the Lord said, albeit I have not spoken.
You know how you can tell what the Lord didn't say it? And you got to study. I'm sorry.
Second Ezra, chapter 10, verse 33. And he said unto me, stand up manfully, and I will advise thee.
That goes back to what, being that you said that in Isaiah about being bold. Stand up manfully. The angel's going to reveal something to him. He said, and I will advise. The point I want to watch is, I will advise thee. Watch this. 34.
Verse 34. Then said I, speak on, my Lord, and me. Only forsake me not, lest I die frustrate of my hope.
It says, then said I, speak on, my Lord, and me. He's telling Lord, he's telling the angel, the messenger, speak in me. Let thy words be inside of me. Show me what to do. Read on. I'm sorry. Forsake me not, lest I die frustrate of my hope. So that's you running this whole course, and you don't get it at the end. What's the point in doing all this Sabbath and going to spend the money to buy these things on the end of your shirt, and stop eating pork, and stop burning trees, and stop whoring, and stop doing whatever you did, and stop 4th of July, that at the end of this you don't get the kingdom of heaven? That sucks. That sucks. You better just go back to the world. Come on. And then you go do all that and don't get it? Read on.
Verse 36. I'm sorry, verse 35. For I have seen that I knew not, and I hear that I do not know. Or my sins deceive, or my soul in a dream. Now therefore I beseech thee, that thou wilt show thy servant this vision.
Right, he wanted to understand the vision. So when you read on, the angel showed him the vision, but the point was, he was asking, show me what it's about. Show me the subtle things in what you're saying. That's why I said it's a skill as you learn, as you grow this truth. And I tell you something, to this day I am still learning. I'm like, oh snap. I'm telling you, that's why I tell you, oh, I always say, brother, just read, keep on reading, keep on. Even when you think you ain't learning something, trust me, something is getting put in the recesses of your mind, and one day, you're going to read something else, and it's going to hit like a bunch of dominoes. You know, when you first come in, you get that feeling a lot. But after you learn for a while, you kind of got an idea. It doesn't come as often. But when they start come in, I'm telling you something. I don't know if you don't experience it. That's incredible to me. I'm like, oh snap! I even got to pick up the phone. I'm like, oh snap! That go with that. That's I got goosebumps right now. I love that feeling. Because from study, show me more things in your laws. The Bible is endless, endless. You'll never learn all until Christ returns and shows us everything. What we need for the kingdom is simple. That's not hard. All right. Watch this. Go from that. Also, I lost my train of thought. What I was going to when I was reading Jeremiah concerning build houses. Watch this. Go to Jeremiah 32. So Jeremiah, he sent the letter to Babylon. He understood the vision, and look what he did. Jeremiah 32.
What verse?
32 and 6.
Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 6. Jeremiah, the 32nd chapter and the 6th verse. And Jeremiah said, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, behold, Hanamiel, the son of Shalom, thy uncle shall come unto thee, saying, buy thee my field that is in Anathoth, for the right of the redemption is thine to buy it.
Stop. So the Lord told him, listen, your uncle's sons will come to you, tell you, buy the land, buy it. Watch this. Jump on down to verse 14.
Verse 14.
No. Verse 15.
Verse 15. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, houses and fields and vineyards shall be possessed again in this land.
So, wait a second. They just was going off into Babylon. You know, they got 70 years to spend over in Babylon, and then the Persians were going to take over, and then during the time of Nehemiah or Ezra, and they came back into land. But the Lord was talking to him, giving him, understand when the Lord spoke to him, he spoke to you in visions and dreams. That's Numbers 12, something like that. He speaks to you. So the Lord was giving a vision and told him, listen, buy the land. Buy it up, prepare yourself, because you're going to come back in the land. He told him in advance. We read in chapter 29 where he told him, while you're on there, tell them build houses, settle themselves down there. They're going to be there for a second. We read it in Ezekiel, you're going to cut back. So for us now, we're to prepare ourselves. Remember, he told buy land, he was actually in Jerusalem. He was in Israel back then. But for us today, what do? We prepare ourselves to get up out of here. In the meanwhile, we do what? We come together. We work as a unit. Watch this. Go from that to Genesis 41. Remember, those visions, in many cases, were long-term things that were going to happen down the line. How do you implement? Genesis 41, 25.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 25. Genesis chapter 41, verse 25.
1 second, Abel. Let me speed you up a little bit. This is Joseph when he was in Egypt, and the baker and the butler had dreams, and he was able to interpret their dreams. Verse 25.
Verse 25.
1 second, Abel. Anyway, he interpreted dreams. One of them died, the other one lived. And then the Pharaoh had a dream, and they said, oh snap, remember Joseph, this guy, he can tell you what the dream means. Verse 25.
And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years. And 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine.
So he understood that the dream that he had of the corn and the kine was about 7 years of plentiful or abundance, and then 7 years of famine. Now watch this. Hold this. Go to the book of Sirach 34. I think we were there earlier. Right, we weren't there, right? Yeah, we was there earlier. Watch this. Verse 3.
Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34, verse 3. Sirach, chapter 34, verse 3. The vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face.
Right, so he had a dream, and it showed him one thing, but it was talking about something else. And he was able to interpret it. Now, when you read this chapter and read on down, it tells you about not getting caught in a dream, because some people live by dreams, and that's why they deceive themselves. But when you hear a dream, sometimes you just put it to your mind and see, okay, maybe the Lord is trying to show me something. Not that you drop everything. Don't lose focus. The focus is the kingdom of heaven. And the way to the kingdom of heaven is keeping the commandments and the faith in Christ. That's simple, very easy to understand. Don't let nothing dissuade you or pull you off that track. But the point I want to hear was the vision of dreams is a resemblance of one thing to another. So that kind and that corn was talking about famine. Back in Genesis 41, verse 28.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 28. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh, what God is about to do, he showed unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous.
So what he's saying is that after the 7 years of plentiness, the famine is going to come. And when it comes, those 7 years of good, you ain't going to remember that. That's how bad it's going to be. Read on.
And for that the dream was double unto Pharaoh twice. And it was because the thing it established by God, and God will surely bring it to pass.
So he had a dream more than once. Read on.
Now therefore let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years.
So now, Joseph's judgment when he told Pharaoh, this is what you got to do. Appoint a man over this. And that man, tell that man to take 1/5 of all that grows and hold it over. Got approximately 5 billion people here. They eat approximately this much food. It's going to be 7 years. Put aside 1/5. That takes a man with wisdom to know that. He do it, but he do a witchcraft. Because how the hell he knew how to go to the moon and had enough fuel to get back? I always think about that. That devil. How you didn't run out of fuel? He knew exactly how much to have. Wish we got stuff. But to understand, to take him, appoint a man and tell him to take 1/5. And like you said, Pharaoh said, this man's smart. Yeah, you the one. You the one. You take 1/5. Remember something. Having the vision, long-term plans, and knowing how to implement it is a gift from God. Not anybody could do that. That's why I say, and I always say this, giving all praises to the Most High, because it's not man. Is that this congregation, we have that. Like, and it's not to put any other congregation down, but they don't. A lot of them don't have that vision. At least I don't know. I've seen it. Long-term plans, implementing plans that's going to play out many years down the line. If all of us think like that and move in that direction, we can make things happen. Big things giving glory to the Father. So it says, where is that, Abir?
Verse 34.
Read it.
Verse 34. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in 7 plenteous years. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man whom the Spirit of God is?
Do you understand what he just said? Pharaoh, he acknowledged the Most High. Watch this real quick. 31. You hear what Pharaoh said? He said back in Genesis, he says, and Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this man in whom the Spirit of God is? He's acknowledging the Most High. Watch this, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 31. For the rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges.
Our enemies, they themselves realize their God is not like our God. Pharaoh did it, Nebuchadnezzar did it, Antiochus did it, Belshazzar did it. I mean, they all understand it. That's why they can't stand us. They hate us. Because they don't really got a God. It says what?
For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges.
Our enemies being judges. And they're going to judge again in that day when Christ comes back and put them under foot and raise us back up. All knees shall bow and confess that he's the Lord God, King of kings. And guess what? We join heirs. So I'm a sidebar again. I always say this. It takes a real certain special skills. What's that movie again? That cracker said that. He said, I got a certain special skills. Take it. Remember that movie? He said, you got to have a certain special skills to screw this up and not get to the kingdom of heaven. Because you're already in the book. You're going already. You got to just daggone. You got to work and get your names blotted out the book. Every last one of us is slated to the kingdom of heaven. And 2/3 of us are going to work hard to get ourselves out of it. You an idiot. Or I'm an idiot. Whoever do that is an idiot. All you got to do is keep the commandments. You fall, repent, you get back on. You only lose when you give up. Let's go back.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 38.
Lord.
Genesis chapter 41, verse 38. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the Spirit of God is?
Read.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
You said only the throne. In other words, he set Joseph up as number 2. So, didn't we just read where it says seek peace in the land we're in? Now, if he was not seeking peace, do you really think, listen, in him doing that, he was taking care of Pharaoh and his family and all the Egyptians. But do you think that's the only thing he was doing? He was taking care of who else? When we came to the land, the rest of his brothers came. They all ate. So it wasn't for himself. The overages went to who? He said, listen, that's like chapter 40 something. He told him, listen, you get a land, tell them that you herdsmen, they're going to give you the Goshen, which is the best land anyway. You'll be good. And don't worry, I'm second in charge. And you're going to eat lovely. Here's your portion. Listen, he was selling, I don't want to go back and read. He was selling all the food. Pharaoh got filthy rich. People were selling everything they had because they ran out of money. He said, all right, we'll take your land. You want to give me? Okay, give you some land. He took everything. Joseph was wealthy. But when he got a position, he didn't get rich and switch. He got in there and took care of his own. It's never about you. It's about us as a body.
Verse 41. 3. Verse 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, Bow the knee. And he made him rule over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all in the land of Egypt.
You say, ain't nobody coming against you. So why can't we do that in this day? You have people saying you can't, you know, you raise up in here, you're a sellout. Was Daniel a sellout? Was Mordecai a sellout? Was Joseph? Which one are you going to tell them that they were coons? So why is it that it's impossible for our forefathers to do it? They have vision. They understood what they had to do. Watch this. Jump on down to verse 56.
Verse 56. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine went sore in the land of Egypt.
You understand that? An Israelite was sold to all the Egyptians and getting paid. Read on.
Verse 57. And all the countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because the famine was so sore in all the land.
So all the nations are coming down. You know how much money this dude was pulling in? And guess what? He wasn't robbing Pharaoh, because he was a godly man, but he was doing all right for himself. Watch this. Go to chapter 47. Now, if this ain't a person that had vision to understand how much to store away. 47. Verse 10 through 12.
Genesis chapter 47, verse 10. Genesis, the 47th chapter and the 10th verse. And Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. And Joseph placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of...
Hold on, slow down. And he gave them the what?
Gave them the best of the land.
That's what happened. When we get positions, you in jobs, you find some position where you can help a brother. You move him. Listen, did not Daniel do that with Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego? He got up, he put them in position. You get yourself a situation, and you can help a brother that's godly, you put him in position. Now that brother who you help, he better not be somebody going in now and mess it up or mess up your name. He got to be cognizant and be respectful that, oh, listen, brother, help me out. But move them up in positions. Now, Joseph is in a place and he get the best of all the land. You good. You taken care of. Read on.
In the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded, and Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread according to their families.
You understand that? He had the overages. He nourished them with bread. You think he was making them pay like that? Nah, you all good. Take that. That's where wisdom rained down skill. And wisdom will tell you how to conjecture things that's going to come to pass.